Hey everyone, so I'm here with Jeff Smyk, who plays the Black Stache.
Hello.
In the show, and we're here to talk about some of the processes that he's been going through to help create that character. So what has it been like trying to bring the Black Stache to the stage?
I think after first reading the script and first getting the part, I think I went through my normal things of, what can I bring to it? What are some other captains? So I went through my Dustin Hoffman, I went through my Christopher Walken, I went through the Disney thing and saw what I could bring from those. But I also realized too that those are all Captain Hook. He's not quite Captain Hook just yet, and I think that without giving too much away,
The Hook does not make an appearance. We just want to make that clear.
Yes.
It doesn't make an appearance at all.
The transition, however, I believe was very traumatizing for the Black Stache. So I try to think of that before. What would he would have liked? What if Captain Hook would have been like as a kid or as a young adult?
So you have an extensive improv background.
Correct.
That helps, and it's a part that lends itself to a lot of interpretation, where you can do stuff every night, you can change stuff every night. How has that been for trying to come up with something a little bit different? Because I know I give you some, but not a lot.
It's actually gotten better with time, I think. When I first getting into it was more of with blocking, memorizing the lines and getting all that, and then once that kind of happens and that improv stuff kind of happens naturally. You shouldn't ever force anything improvised or try to be funny. I try to just bring my sense of humor into it and little quips and little things that I like to do. And I think some of it, you even, nix it, don't do that. Yes, do that. And we're even still to this day, almost a month to opening night, we're still kind of adding little things, and agreeing to do little things that aren't in the script that I think that would be funny for the Black Stache. That, he's such a character,
He gets to do a lot of fun stuff. He's the only character that gets those modern references.
Absolutely.
In the show. The show is actually, what was interesting is we never actually get a time period on when Peter Pan actually takes place. So what the authors did is they went with the date that it was released, which was like 1904, and then they sort of backtracked. So they kind of picked the date of 1885 as a starting point, going, okay, this is when we think this would have happened, but you're going to see the Stache having modern lines and references of stuff that has been in the news lately or things that have happened in the last few years. So it really brings the audience into it a little bit.
And I even think that's a huge thing for his character, is that he almost time travels. He can see beyond that fourth wall that other characters can't. So he knows who won the Super Bowl, and I just feel like that, with all these references, it's not just the references that are made in the show. He obviously has some kind of television or something to see the real world, and I think that's very interesting and cool, and kind of a way to, even with those references, keep, making him feel old, I guess, still, but knowing that he has this look on life, I guess, that other people don't get to have.
What has been the hardest part about playing the Black Stache? What has been the hardest part for you during this whole process?
Injuries. It's very intense. It's a very intense, and that's also come with time too. Realizing
you have injured yourself every single rehearsal, pretty much.
Basically, yes.
Some way, shape, or form.
I've bled quite a couple times on my body, bruises, but all worth it. I'm not complaining. Everything is worth it, and I think the more you sell, though, and that's going. I was just talking to you about. 1920 silent film. I think that he maybe is a fan of silent film era stuff. I don't know, but I feel like a lot of he has very animated pratfalls and animated movements, and
there's a lot of physical comedy to his character, and it's interesting because it's not really written to say, hey, Stache does this physical comedy bit, but we've incorporated a lot of them
Yes.
You know, in the show, more so than some of the other characters, but he gets to do
absolutely, yeah, and some that come out of nowhere. I mean, you know what I'm thinking of, right?
Yeah, there's a few.
And there's really, it's just the eccentricity of the Black Stache that really shines through, you know. And I think that, I mean, this is hands down the best character, my most favorite character I've ever got to play. I honestly, like, we've been almost a week now since we've done any scenes. I'm dying. I want to act and play him every day. It's just, he's such a fun character. So much fun. So
what is it about the interpretation of this character? We see the Black Stache, and he's not quite, you know, Captain Hook yet, so he is this blank canvas. Mm-hmm. And really the differences between what the Black Stache is in the original novel to what he is in the theatrical adaptation is, in the novel, he's really like this mean, snarky villain, and he is over theatrical sized, I guess, in a, you know, in a sense. But how was that? How do you still try to get that meanness out of him?
I think there's room for it in the script, but also too, you got to remember when you're playing, you're a pirate still. You know, he is the only pirate that's still left. I mean, or pirate captain. So you got to have some sort of tenacity that you carry with you, and know that you're one of the last pirates out there. And if this doesn't work for you, you're done. You know. So I think a lot of that showing, I guess, like I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
No, it's good. Now, so we'll talk a little bit about the ensemble nature of the show, because you're one of 12 actors, and they spend an ungodly amount of, you know, time on stage together. Very frequently is anybody off stage periodically. Yeah. What is it like trying to work with an entire ensemble cast and making sure that everybody's in the right place at the right time?
I mean, I love it. It's what I'm used to, having an improv background. I mean, you know, you have an improv troupe. Everyone's on stage, basically, or on the back wall at one point, you know, listening, paying attention, a part of the show, but not part of the scene, maybe, perhaps, you know. But I love it, you know, and all through my life, I've always, even like with acting and stuff like that, have always, you know, is this okay? Is this okay? You know, and if I have like a single role or something like that, with this show, it's like, it's a whole. There's, you know, if there's one weak chain, the entire chain breaks, you know. But it's fun to see everyone bring their absolute best. At times, some of their absolute worst, you know, and how much when people bring their absolute worst, everything crumbles apart. So it's that's what I love about, and that's what I love about improv so much, is that you're not alone. Stand-up comedy, you're there alone. You die alone. And with this, and I mean, even other shows too, like sketch shows or other plays, I feel like there's a chance for you to either shine or kind of die. But with this show, I feel like no one's gonna die alone or shine the most. You know, I think it's gonna be a great show as a whole, or wish it's gonna be.
It'll be a really good show.
It's gonna be incredible.
So what sort of advice do you give for any type of improv actors maybe looking to, you know, to build that skill, or for those actors who don't necessarily have the improv background? What's the key to it besides timing, which we know is the
listen and react. You know, I mean, that goes with anything, with acting, you know, reading lines. Like, people get in comfortable with just things being sing-songy and knowing your lines, but he says this, I respond with this, but not really listening, you know, and listening to, like, I mean, it's still now I'm seeing parts in the play like, oh, that's why this happened, you know, and stuff, like, as you go along. But I would say listening, honestly, paying attention, always. Just I mean, that's the number one thing in improv, is just knowing what's going on, you know, and being a part of it, I guess, you know.
So are there any questions that you have for, like, me or anything? Like, what has been, like, I know you've picked my brain a lot on the character and coming through, but what has been this whole process, you know, been like, where you, Fitz, what are you talking about? What makes it so? You guys have been very kind and very patient with me.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, you almost have to be, because you have literally 1,000 things going on at once, you know, with it being like an ensemble show. it's not just the people acting on the scene. There's people in the background portraying the actual scenery. So that has to be right as well as the people acting, So the blocking for this show has been more extensive than anything that I've ever been a part of, in a great way. And like during rehearsals and stuff, when people are doing the scene and people are as a background in the scene, like you're just as part of the scene. So like, like how frustrated you get with us if we talk or stuff like that, but I'm guilty of it as well, but it's constantly being prepared and aware of where you're at and what you're performing. I don't know. I mean, how you do it is a question. How do you do it is a question, but deal with all of us. And, but I mean, that's more of a rhetorical question.
It's fun because I think one of the best things that I get to do as a director is I give you guys like an idea, and it's just like a simple scene. I say, and I think we've had a lot of fun of just trying different things, and it's hey, play this time, or play it like this, play it like that, or maybe we give an idea that's completely not how we see this character going at all, but just for fun, we say, let's play it this way. That's completely different and completely outrageous.
I love that so much.
We've had a lot of really good laughing moments.
Countless.
In rehearsal, and I think what amazes me watching you guys is I'm laughing, outside the scene, and the rest of the staff is laughing, and I think there's one scene in particular where you get up in Josh's face, who plays Peter, and he is just stone-faced.
He's a pro.
He's unwavering, and I don't know how he does it. Every single time I say, run that again, I said, do that again. Part of me wants to do it just to see if he'll.
I honestly try to make
and
it break. That's my
trying.
goal. And most of the things when I try to make people break. I love doing that. Even with Lauren, I get in Lauren's face a couple times, and I try to do different. Once she knows I'm coming with a certain reaction, I try to change it up just to Because come showtime, there's gonna be a whole different energy. Yeah, I'm gonna get, but you just gotta be prepared, for what someone's gonna throw at you, I guess, and I don't know, yeah, I guess I love making people laugh, and that's why I got into comedy, why I got into improv, and acting's great too, but I do love making people laugh. So making them, and Josh is there's a tough cookie to break. Yeah, there's an improv exercise called "Where's My Son," and basically you stand in a circle, and there's a person in the middle, and the person in the middle goes up to everyone in the circle and says, "Where's my son?" in any way you possibly can to try to make that person break. I believe it's maybe not Mel Gibson reference. Where's my son? What's that? Is that Mel Gibson? Ransom, maybe?
Yeah,
Ransom, yeah. I think this game's called Ransom. But yeah,
we'll have to try next rehearsal.
Yeah, I'm telling you, absolutely, please. Yeah, I'd even love to do an improv set with the 12 of us and see, just team building. Yeah, team building stuff.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's Jeffrey Smyk, who's playing the Black Stache with us. So it's going to be a great show. Check it out. He's incredibly funny. He's so funny.
I try to be.
Can't wait to see what you guys.
Well, actually, I don't.
What you guys do? You don't try. You just naturally. I said, don't try to be funny.
Negated what I said earlier.
We used to say acting is acting like you're not acting. That's, I think, the easiest way to.
Absolutely, yeah. Listening, responding.
You guys are doing a great job. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you. See you at the show.